Circles. Here's how you're going to do circles for the rest of this unit. These next couple of videos are all going to be just a review of some of the things you need to remember, and then us taking up the actual circle review questions. So to begin, this is a circle. If you're there, that's step one. I'm proud of you. Step two is knowing the three kind of key measurements that you can make on a circle. The first is if it's from the middle outward, so a straight line from any outward edge of the circle to the center, that's the radius. So the red line there is the radius. Now, if you were to go twice as far, if you were to go to the middle and then keep going all the way down in a straight line, that's going to be the diameter. And lastly, if you were to go all the way around on the outside edge, that's the circumference. And there's a relationship between the diameter and the radius. And there's a relationship between any of these and the circumference, and we're going to talk about those relationships right now. Firstly, for the diameter, it's obviously 1, 2 parts bigger than the radius, because it goes halfway, that's a radius, and it goes another half, that's another radius. So diameter is really just 2 of the radius, so 2 times r. If r is 5 centimeters, then it's twice that to make it 10 centimeters. Then the circumference, and we did a whole study of this where we measured the distance around things and then the distance across things, and we found out that most of the time, or actually all the time, that for a perfect circle, the circumference was really just the diameter times 3 point something, and it ended up being 3.14, which we call pi. So remember, pi is 3.14. Now, because diameter is 2r, I could put 2r here and it would be the same thing. Circumference equals pi times 2r, but we really write that as 2 pi r for the most part, because these here are constants. 2 and pi are always going to stay the same. R is the only thing that's going to change depending on what you measure. So we put the constants at the beginning, the ones that are always going to stay the same. Other than that, the only thing you'd really want to be able to do, you'd like to be able to reverse some of those. So if I gave you the diameter, you would tell me, yeah, circumference equals pi times diameter, and you would figure it out. But what if I didn't? What if I gave you the circumference and told you to find the diameter? Well, you'd need to know that diameter is circumference divided by pi. And when we do our algebra unit, you'll completely understand why. But until then, you might just want to remember it unless you already know how to do the balance model. Same thing for if I gave you the circumference and asked you to find the radius. What would that be? Well, I know that circumference equals 2 pi r, and so r would be circumference divided by 2 pi. And again, I explained kind of examples when I put numbers in place when I did this in class, so hopefully you guys can remember these, but again, this is really just review. So the main thing is, do you know all of your parts of a circle? And do you know how to switch back and forth these little formulas? I won't talk about area until we touch some of the area questions.